GamerDad-N-Son.
This is a GamerDad-N-Son review of Mad Max.
GamerDad-N-Son.
Mad Max is an open game from WB with similar gameplays as the Batman Arkham series and Shadow of Mordor. It doesn't really innovate anything new. What it does well, it demonstrates some of the best car combat we have ever seen in a game. If you are familiar with the Mad Max movies or not, this game can stand on its own 2 feet. You are thrown out into the road with the goal of building your car, the magnum, opus, and simply surviving. Along the way, you must find food, save ammo, and not run out of gas.
The car gameplay really reminds us of the tank combat in Batman Arkham Knight. The controls are even very similar. We found that we wanted to spend most of our time out in the desert, whether it be racing or fighting other vehicles. The barren wasteland is beautiful, and it was difficult not to compare it to the latest movie. Comparing it to the movie, this wasteland had much more of life going on, which is definitely needed for a video game.
You have different weapons at your disposal, and even a turbo switch that you can use to ram into enemies. This was by far our favorite part. Our favorite part. Knocking into a vehicle created some really cool movie-like sequences. Certain points in the game, you can customize your vehicle, not only the car type, like a truck or roadster, but also what types of weapons to equip it with.
Overall, this is a fun, action-packed game that does enough things well. If you're looking for real innovation and moving video games forward, you're not going to find it here. What you will find is a fun way to pass the time that does stay true to the source material. We didn't care too much about the hand-to-hand combat. It was all about the cars, like we mentioned earlier. It's a fun distraction unlike what we have ever seen in a game before. It doesn't really do open world or combat particularly well. It is definitely a mashup of different genres, and not the greatest mashup. Max himself is not a very interesting character. He more so acts as an avatar for the individual who's actually playing the game.
The hand-to-hand combat is similar to the Batman games. The attack and catch moves play good enough, but what would have felt better with a little more speed. With how fast the cars go, the punching in the game is snail slow.
Mad Max is fun, but by no means is it a Game of the Year contender. If you're looking for some mindless fun, Mad Max is where you can find it. For more video game reviews, check out nerdculture.com, where nerds rule.
And escape from all that is human until one day the plains of silence end and you begin. You've purpose in this life, my friend.